Hi, Matt's here.
Hey, Matt, Jason Chang.
Hey, Jason, good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been. We are reunited.
Yeah, awesome. Things are going well?
They are. They are. Our season hasn't started yet, though.
Okay, soon though, must be.
Next month.
Next
Or
month.
no, it's October this month.
I was like, where are you curling?
Yeah.
November? Yeah, October. Yeah. Yeah, we're about getting started next week. I guess
Oh,
my home club next week. I've been curling, of course,
yeah.
but
Terrific.
have you called any games this so far on this
I think. Yeah.
tournament?
Not this one. I've done some this season, though.
Okay. What would you like to do? Would you like to take what do you call it? Lead or color?
I'll do the color.
Okay, sure. Works for me.
Seemed to work last time.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
I get a little silly late at night.
well, oh, here we go. Well, not too bad yet.
Good thing it's
but
only 11 o'clock Eastern.
Should be a good match.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to Martensville, Saskatchewan, site of the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. My name is Jason Chang, and with me is Matt Sussman. I like to call him the professor, bringing you the action from the ice to your device. Well, Matt, we've got a great match coming up. The number 4 ranked mixed doubles team in the world against the number 11th team. It's Koana and Aoki of Japan against Martin and Laycock. Matt, what do you think about this matchup?
Well, I'm looking at how they've done so far this today. Well, let's say this tournament. It started today, and they're both 2-0, so they're both feeling it. They've both been winning their games. Like you said, they're both ranked pretty high, so I think we're going to see a lot of made shots. And if you haven't seen mixed doubles before, I think you're going to enjoy this type of play. It goes fast.
Yeah, they did the draw to the buttons to determine last stone advantage. You can see the red stone. That's the center line guard. That belongs to Koana Aoki. That means they don't have last stone advantage. Martin and Laycock, they're playing blue. They've got last stone advantage. Really nice draw there by, I think that was Steve Laycock, freezing on top of the Koana stone. Matt, as you said, mixed doubles goes really quickly. Lots of rocks in play. Always very congested in that forefoot. It's really important to control the angles, I think, in mixed doubles.
Yeah, and if you're not used to it, you will get used to it. A lot of draws, a lot of taps. If you've never really understood angles, you'll play a few games and you'll get used to it pretty quickly. So these teams both have mastered them pretty well. And like I said, they've mastered them so far today here in Martensville.
Looks like Tori Koana is actually throwing the middle 3 stones for the Japanese team, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stones. That means Aoki will be throwing the 1st and the 5th stones of this end. I find that interesting that the Japanese teams tend to use that lineup a lot more. The male playing throwing 1 and 5 relative to the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's kind of a preference. You see it everywhere. My personal team, my partner enjoyed throwing the middle 3, and then at some point we just made a change. And that's one of the other cool things about this is it's rare to see, but you are allowed to change your throwing order from end to end. So we might want to keep an eye and see if that happens. Unlikely, but it is possible.
Yeah, that draw that Koana played, really good weight, but didn't quite get to the face of that blue stone. This allows Steve Laycock to try to get to the inside of this red stone, tap that red back, and sit on the top of the button. Probably over-curled a little bit of where he won. I think he wanted to hit that red one a little bit more, push it back, and then roll right onto the face of that blue one.
Yeah, and you're seeing the congestion already. The 4-foot is completely crowded. It's not uncommon to see scores of 2 and 3, maybe even 4, and it's not a blowout. Both teams can do that, but the way this one's shaping up, you might only see 1, even though you're going to see about 10 rocks in play.
Yeah, Martin and Laycock, they're throwing blue. They have last rock, and they are sitting 2 right now. They were looking at maybe moving some rocks. They also pointed at just freezing into that pocket, Matt. What do you think they decided here?
It's always hard to tell with mixed doubles, especially in this case. You've got Aoki is electing to be the sweeper for this rather than hold the broom. Usually in the middle rocks they do that. You want to, again, create the angles. I don't think you need to really move anything here, but just lobbing another one in there is not a bad play.
Yeah, get into that pocket. I think that's a very wise play. Go Aoki, sweeping this rock. Seems pretty happy with it. Might need to curl a little, though. Trying to get it right into between that red rock and the blue rock. Curls up really nicely. Well done.
Oh, that's choice. And you'll see the difference. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Martin and Laycock still sitting 2, though.
They are. And you'll see the difference in play here. You'll see Nancy Martin stay in the house, hold the broom. So Laycock has exactly the place he's looking for, and he's going to follow his own rock down and sweep it. That's not uncommon to see. It takes a lot of energy to do that. But again, every team sort of has their preference.
Yeah, they're wondering what to do with this situation because the red stones, they can be kind of moved into those blue stones. The angles kind of line up. If you just hit the red stones on the right-hand side from the thrower's angle, the blue rocks will disappear, at least one at a time. But looks like Steve is a little bit concerned about what the Japanese team can do there on those red rocks.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's 2 of them there. It's hard to guard them both. I guess you could guard them both. This might be what they're doing, and it's not wrong.
Yeah, kind of guard. You're basically trying to guard that red stone that is sticking out, the wider one.
Yes.
I'm saying wider, and they're all still in the 4-foot.
Game of inches.
Yeah, look at where Nancy's got the broom. So there's certainly lots of curl in this ice. Trying to guard probably that 4-foot line, I think.
Wants to stop right there. It's over curling.
Yeah, over curled the hair, and he took plenty of ice there. Still over curled, so lots of curl in the ice. And now Tori Koana looking at that red onto the blue to remove shot stone.
I guess the good news is one of them is guarded, so even if they can somehow pick off the one on the button, you're still Martin Laycock still sitting one, and it's behind cover, and there's a jam possibility. So I think I'd rather be blue than red at this point, but there's still a chance here to try to kick a red one out or kick a blue one out.
Yeah, the blue one should go pretty easily if you hit that red stone that's on the side of the floor. But that blue on the just nibbling the top of the button should still be shot rock after this shot. Okay, this is Tori Koana. That's their fourth stone of the end. Tori's final stone this end. Trying to get it by, they do. Nicely done. But as you can see, blue still shooting shot rock, and there's space to get another one back in there.
Yeah, really good shot by Koana. That is exactly the call. And again, it's still very cramped in there. Not a lot of space, but just enough space. Steve can try to get maybe try to get into that pocket first and sit two, and then I don't know what you do.
Yeah, pretty tough to get three out of the situation, I think. But you got to place this one first. I think if you don't get this one a good spot, you're probably never getting two. So Steve's got to get this one there for probably shot or second shot. Nancy right out to the side of the board. Well, Nancy's calling for curl. We saw it come in hard last time. It's coming in pretty hard again this time.
Oh, wow.
I think you got it there.
Yeah, I think so. It's sitting two, and it's not going anywhere. That was a really nice shot, really good call. Good team shot. If there are team shots in mixed doubles.
Now, is two people, I guess two people is a team, right?
Absolutely is a team. You think of a team shot as, in the four-person game, four people being involved, but, the communication's there, and when you do play this game, if you've never played it before, you're kind of stunned at first by how much you're in charge of. Like, you're in charge of half the things. You're in charge of so much. You can't really, there's not a whole lot of other voices out there, which could be good and bad, but it certainly will broaden your skills. If there's something in the game you haven't done, you're going to start doing it in this game.
Yeah, and calling line can be so much more difficult because you don't have a broom always at the other end of the ice. As you can see here, you can see Tori is sweeping those rocks, so the thrower has to call the line. He's playing big weight, running the blue into the blue, I think. Try to slash it. All right, gets one of them out of there, but blue still sitting shot stone. Probably just a drop or two.
I think that's all you can do, and that's all he could do. He was hoping for maybe a little more action on one of those rocks, but all the same, two's not bad in this game. You can make that up easily.
Yeah, for sure. Martin and Laycock pretty much controlled this end after Steve made a really nice freeze. This team's been together for quite a long time now. And almost exclusively focusing on doubles. Maybe not 100%, but certainly predominantly doubles. Martin and Laycock.
Yeah, you've seen him in the four-person game. Laycock's had his team for a while. He was on the Slam Tour on the men's for a little bit. Nancy Martin, I think, has played with Anderson.
Sherry Anderson. Yep.
Sherry Anderson. Yes. So they're not unfamiliar to the 4-person game, but you will certainly see people. They'll find they'll find this and they'll say this is what I like best, and then they'll do this more than anything else, and that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah, and one Olympic cycle ago, this team was one of the best, one of the top-ranked mixed doubles teams in Canada. That was the COVID Olympics, where Curling Canada ended up selecting a team to go. But Martin and Laycock were certainly in the conversation because of their very high mixed doubles ranking. All right, Nancy Martin, final stone. Now, originally we thought they were going to just draw. Then they went down and thought maybe they'll just play a tap, blue onto red, to get the 2 that way. What are they doing here?
It's a lot of weight. They're going to have. I don't know if they see multiple points for a chance for 3, but this looks like a draw. They're going to need it to stop.
Yeah, it looks okay. Right on the pin, it's 2 points for Martin and Laycock. 2-0 lead after the first end.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Welcome back. Second end underway. Martin and Laycock, they took 2 in the first end. Koana and Aoki, they've got hammer, last stone advantage in the second end. If you're just joining us, my name is Jason Chang. With me, the professor, Matt Sussman. And if you're joining us from Japan, I guess it's morning there, so ohayo gozaimasu.
The Japanese curling fans always come out in full swing anytime any of their countrymen and women are on the feed. They watch a lot of curling, and you gotta love them for it.
Yeah, and a bunch of those teams, not only this team in mixed doubles, but women's and men's teams in Canada this week and over the past couple of weeks. I know Curling Stadium has covered a number of Japanese games.
Yeah, and even in this field, there's another, we mentioned earlier, Koana and Aoki are ranked 4th in mixed doubles. There's another team in this field, Matsumura and Tanida, which is 5th. So they've got a lot of depth, and especially this season, you may have noticed a lot of their teams have been coming out especially into Canada. Their season also started earlier, in the summer, and they've been playing a lot. So the depth, I think, of that country's curlers has been very astonishing.
Yeah, really nice draw there, coming onto their own rock, but still a little bit of space on the top of the button for Steve Laycock to get this draw down. Yeah, you talk about the Japanese season starting very early. Same with the Korean season. We start maybe a little bit later in Canada than in Asia and even in Europe. Keeping tight for line. Trying to keep that rock straight right to the face. Pretty good.
Yeah, that rock's not going to leave for a while. It's going to take some work for them to try to push that out, jiggle it to the side. That's locked down there and undercover. Pretty good shot.
Yeah, those 4 rocks forming a diagonal line, almost a perfectly diagonal line. So that blue stone on the pin not moving anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's hard to calculate the acute angle of that in relation to the center line, but They are straight as an arrow.
Well, I call you the professor because the last time we worked together, I think we were talking about shapes and angles. So now we're talking acute. Acute is less than 90 degrees, right?
Yes, acute is less than 90. Obtuse is more than 90. I don't even know why I know this stuff. I haven't used this stuff since high school, but some things never leave you, I guess.
It looks like they had a look and decided to just freeze on top of the Laycock stone. Right on top. Unlocks it a hair. That's a really good shot.
That's really good. They were so close to reckon, and they didn't seem panicked at all. They knew exactly where that was going.
Yeah, you're right. So there was no panic in that stone, and I thought they should be sweeping it, and they were pretty calm about it. Well, getting a little bit scary now for Martin and Laycock. Yes, they have shot stone on the button, but there's red stone, second, third, and fourth shot. And that blue, again, just got unlocked from that line of rocks. Now it's sticking out a little bit. If you can ever make a play on that red stone that was just thrown, the one on the top of the button, you could push that blue stone out of that button area.
Yeah, the 4 foot's really the magic circle in mixed doubles. If it pushes out of there, it's just basically out of play, essentially. In an end like this where everything's so bunched, you'd need to be somewhere in the 4 foot, or else you might as well not be in the house at all. It's it's different if you're not used to it.
Steve playing an intern. Is this just a guard, or is he going right on top as well?
Hard to tell. I don't think it's going to get there. This is a guard.
Yeah, tight guard. I think you might see a double peel here. Try to kill both guards. I think what the Japanese duo want to do is open up that red stone on the top of the button so you can see that red stone and maybe make a play on it later.
Yeah, there's a chance that if you double peel this, if you go over top, you might even drive it back and make the shot anyways.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely possible. All right, there's Tori Koana. Big weight here. Looks close-ish. There it goes back. Didn't get it onto the red, but kills the other blue. That's a good shot.
Oh, man. I said there's a chance. That was going there all day. Very good shot. That's a triple kill.
Good. And now Martin and Laycock have to be very worried about their lonely blue stone. Like right now, if you hit the red stone on the nose, just high maybe, you can get that blue stone out. You'll lose one of the reds, probably that back one, but you'll probably sit 3 if you can hit it close to nose.
Yeah, at the worst, it's a shot for 2. And so if that's the worst case scenario, you'd need to do something here. Looks like they might be playing it themselves, which is not a bad call. That way you can select the weight and direction that everything spills.
Yeah, so probably hitting on the right-hand side from the thrower's angle, the high side. He did a little bit tight, but he got the rock back out there with his release. If you need to hit on the high side, see if you can make a double. The back rock goes, top rock goes, blue stone rolls to the side of the 8. Shot stone still belongs to Koana and Aoki.
And if you're wondering why he did that, like, okay, you killed your own stone. That's the shot they were going to do. There's no blanks in mixed doubles curling. If you can force a blank, then you're basically making them draw for one. If you blank an end, you're still giving the hammer back up. So that was the thought process there. That's his bailout.
Yeah, so if Koana and Aoki hit and sticks, there would be a double there. And if they make the double, you force the other team to one. And like you said, you wouldn't blank because you just lose the hammer if you blank the end. It's a little bit different from the four-person game. I mean, obviously you don't want to roll out, but if you could ever roll it a little bit to the outside, that would be ideal to try to make this double as hard as possible. That's pretty good. Well, Steve asking Nancy if she wants to play the double. I'm pretty sure if Steve was throwing the rock, he'd play the double. But of course, he's not throwing it. Nancy's throwing it, so you have to see what she's comfortable with.
Yeah. And I think the question is double or what? And the or what would be maybe a hit and roll off that side one and possibly roll frozen or close to frozen and then make the shot for two very difficult.
Yeah, the only other call I could see is playing a freeze onto the run on the back of the button, but that's a little bit more risky. You got to make sure you line up the freeze well. Well, so far, a very well play end by the Japanese team. They gave up a 2 in the first, but they have an opportunity to strike back for 2. Nancy Martin looking either for the double or the hit and roll right on top. She's close to missing it, and she feathers it and gets nothing to go away.
Yeah, really bad break. That's an open draw for 3 now for Aoki to touch paint, change the course of this game. I always thought it was interesting, Martin choosing the outturn on that one. You're going to get less action to do the double, but she clearly saw that as a better opportunity.
Yeah, I think sometimes with doubles, sometimes you choose your turns based on what you've seen, and you don't see a lot of inside-out shots in the doubles game. So maybe
true.
unsure about the curl when inside out. Anyway, this is a free draw for Go Aoki. The Japanese first and fifth stone thrower just needs to hit paint here. And looks just fine, I think.
It's something else, too.
Just back of the rings. Will it stick around? Yes, it does. Back of the 12. It is 3 points for Koana Aoki. They come back to take the lead after 2, 3-2.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Third end just underway. The Japanese team scoring 3 in that last end to take a 3-2 lead over Laycock and Martin. Japanese team. And these first rocks of an end are so important. Aoki gets it to the top of the forefoot. Second shot stone. Would have been like that to be a little bit deeper, but not too bad. What got the Laycock and Martin team into trouble last end was the first rock. Nancy Martin's rock was a little bit too short, and that allowed the Japanese team to go in on top of their own and sit 2 right away. Well, Nancy was a little bit short on her first rock last end. Maybe a few feet light again this end. Only reaches the top 8.
Yeah, not the sharpest end yet for them, but again, they're only down 1, and you saw 2 go up, you saw 3 go up. This could be one of those games where, first to 10 wins, but there's this one's certainly shaping up to be different than the other 2.
I just had a look at the YouTube chat, and looks like a lot of Japanese curling fans watching this game. Great to have you on our feature game. Tori Koana now trying to get this rock onto the button. Sit shot stone. Go Aoki now trying to carve this rock in. You can see the change in the angle of the brush. A good sweep. Mostly open still. Do you think you can get to the nose and push it by, or do they have to do something up in front?
Ooh, nose, I don't think so. But another key point with these rocks is if you can move it behind the tee line, then it's way more vulnerable. It's in front now, but there's space to push it back. I don't think you can get rid of it, but you can certainly push it back a couple feet. Of course, I don't think that's what they're going to do at all. I think they're going to go to open up the middle because Nancy Martin doesn't like what she sees there.
Yeah, maybe a slightly more conservative play here, but not wrong. Steve Laycock, big weight here, trying to get, I think, maybe red onto blue if he can. Red onto blue, onto red, make the double this way. Nice shot.
Oh,
blue, stick around, stays behind cover.
Yeah. Love to see the lift delivery as well. They still like to use that in Saskatchewan to generate a little more oomph on these kinds of shots, but just expertly thrown and called.
Yeah, not easy to throw with the lift delivery. You have to have such good technique. That rock is, out of position, shall I say, as it's swinging, because you kind of have to get it around your leg a little bit. So, and then put it back in front of your body. Good news for the Japanese team is the button's still available. You can still freeze down to that blue stone. That's the original stone that was there from the beginning of the end. Hasn't moved yet. Well, there's a mistake from Koana. That one over-curled by quite a lot.
Yeah, that one doesn't really do a lot. So this is a chance here for Steve Laycock to kind of put the clamps down, control the front, control the forefoot, and possibly get their 2 or maybe even 3 back.
Yeah, looking at where to position this, I think they're a little bit worried that if they go into the 4-foot, they might line up a red onto blue on double. That's kind of short angle slash double. So positioning will be really important here.
Yeah, you're right. Being careful is what they're going for here, because we mentioned earlier this is a game of taps. They're not tapping. They are throwing big weights. Everyone's doing that, and they're making them too. So this is not the conventional mixed doubles. If there is a conventional mixed doubles game, they are blasting with accuracy, and so they've got to be really precise here to avoid a double or triple.
Also can't go behind the tee line, because if you ever go behind the tee line, you're giving a big out to the Japanese team. Then they go on to the top of the button, and it'll be pretty hard to remove. So top 4, maybe just top button. Looked like it was over curling, so Nancy asked Steve to curl a little bit more and tap that blue stone up a little bit.
Yeah. During their discussion, I saw that as a possible outcome, and so I don't think she minded that kind of stagger there, because now they're sitting 3, and there's not really a natural double to get rid of 2 of them. They've still got the draw, but if they draw, Jason, you'll see there's that sort of red-blue combo that they can get out with. So there's not a whole lot of things they can do to get rid of 2.
They might be able to throw a hit down the center and get the top blue. I'm not sure if that really leaves you in a great spot or not. Maybe it's okay, but you'll be 3rd shot or 4th shot, or I guess 3rd shot if you make the double. But you have to get pretty tight to the guard.
Yeah, they're eyeing the outside though. They're looking at the outturn side. Can they do anything with that red that overcurled? Maybe they are going to play it.
Yeah, they're playing some weight here. Red onto blue. Can they make a double here? They are touching all 3 stones. Nothing gets out, but blue is 2nd shot. But it is half open.
Yeah, every single time they're pushing out, I'm thinking, okay, normal. No, this is peel, peel, peel. That one just kind of hung out there a little bit. Didn't get enough of that red, and as you said, didn't remove anything. And big chance here. Where do you put this rock to prevent any type of steal or force?
It looks like a draw, so I'm going to presume maybe just top of the 4. Maybe a little bit behind that red stone. Because right now, Koana and Aoki, they can tap their red stone onto the button on the outturn side. Gets this one top of the 4-foot. Really nice shot. I think that pretty much takes away the tap on the red. It'll be very difficult.
I think it does, and even if you can make it, you're not really accomplishing anything by just getting rid of a single rock and then probably rolling open. I think they're looking at chasing it and seeing if they can get as close to nose, maybe doubling them, and if they double them, they would sit 2. That's all I see. That might be the call.
Yeah, it looks like with the amount of curl in the ice, you might be able to get there for the double.
Hit 3/4. think you can spill them both, and then your shooter rolls a little bit under. We'll see here.
The last stone in this end for Go Aoki. They don't have last rock with a 1-point lead. Looking a little bit scary. Tori Koana sweeping hard, coming close to the guard, but they get it by. Will they make the double? Straight back, jams at blue, still shot stone, but is this double there? It's for 3.
Yeah, double for 3 is I think there. I think it's you've got a half a rock open. You need to hit a third, and they both scatter pretty easily. The draw for 2 is not any easier, in my opinion. And
the draw for 2 is pretty tough. Not a lot of real estate based on where the rocks are. You have to negotiate getting by those red stones. So I agree with you. I think this double is the easiest way to score multiples.
Now, Nancy did miss her last big weight shot in the second end. It was a flash, but the chance to redeem herself if she chooses to go for it.
Yeah, that one was an out turn as well, and if she's playing the double, it'll be an out turn again.
Again, you're just hitting the outside of that red. The one in the center line should just go right out the side door, and the one she hits should just spin straight back and avoid everything.
Final stone, third end. Nancy Martin, big opportunity here. Like you said, chance to redeem her last miss in the last end to get 3 back and reclaim the lead. Looks pretty close. The 2 reds go out easily. As you said, it's 3 on the board for blue, and they regain the lead. It's 5-3 through 3 ends.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Really nice shot in the last end by Nancy Martin. 3 points on the board. They take a 5-3 lead. Martin and Laycock, that is. Nancy Martin with the first stone in the fourth end. Four sheets on the ice tonight. All of them you can watch because of Curling Stadium. Go to curlingzone.com, click the link. You'll take taken to YouTube, or you can just go to the Curling Zone YouTube channel. But if you're joining us, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jason Chang. Matt Sussman partnering with me tonight. Another little mistake here from Nancy Martin. She's been having some trouble getting the first rock into a good spot.
Yeah, that is the hardest shot to throw. That is after you make a wonderful normal takeout double, you then have to throw a draw, and anyone that can do that is the best curler in the world. But like you said, she's been light on those. She was super light on that one, and so opportunity here to control the button here for Koana and Aoki.
Yeah, and that's what they did 2 ends ago after a Martin stone that came up a bit short. Japanese team getting their rocks in a good position resulted in a 3. Maybe a little bit lucky to get the 3 because it required a flash hit at the end from Nancy, but nevertheless, 3 points was on the board, and they've just exchanged 3 points back. So,
yeah, and that's a product of this game. It's 5-3 now. If this was a Saskatchewan men's game, it's probably 5-3 after 10 ends. So the scoring is going to go up. So if you like big points, then you're at the right place.
yeah, mixed doubles always very entertaining because you just never know what will happen. A lot of big numbers can go on the screen. I mean, threes are pretty good in terms of a score, but you see 4s and 5s quite often in mixed double.
Yeah, that brings up an interesting question, Jason. You can score 6 in mixed doubles in the position rock counting as well, but it's not as good as an 8-ender. I don't think you should take a picture if you score a 6-ender. I'm not sure where you stand on that, but I say you don't.
Well, Matt, I don't know. Were you following my Instagram? I did take a picture of a 6-ender that I got earlier this season. It was worthy of a picture, but not as worthy as an 8-ender. I've never been that close to an 8-ender, but that was my second 6 I've ever scored in doubles. So, and I've definitely seen them a lot more often than the 6-ender than the 8-ender in 4-person curling.
Yeah, it's a little more manageable. I've actually seen someone score a 6-ender and lose the mixed doubles game. So it's not as much of a backbreaker as the 8. I think after the 8 you shake. But I'm also all for being happy with whatever you can do in a game, whether it's scoring a 6 or only losing by 2 or whatever it is. If I ever do score a 6 and I've had the chance, but I haven't had the execution, I'll just be really happy I did it.
Yeah, Matt. Well, I didn't join the commentating gig tonight to have my accomplishments diminished by you.
And yet here we are.
That's why you're the professor. I'm the pupil.
I'm just handing out grades, and I don't grade on a curve.
Well, good shot there by the Japanese team, Tori Koana. They've got 3 in there, shot, second and third shot. But there is room for Steve to get one in there. This one's really important now.
It's amazing how quickly this game can change. Really good positioning here for the Japanese team, but getting one in here can change a whole lot of opinions and emotions.
Rubs off the top, rolls into the top of the button. It is shot stone, but I think you can probably still push it out with the amount of curl there is in the ice.
Yeah, you saw Aoki just kind of point his broom right at the back of the 12. That's all you need to get it to go. And a little bit of bump weight should do it.
Yeah, there looks like there's at least 5.5, maybe 6 feet of curl on this ice. So they make a lot of shots. It makes the mixed doubles game very exciting when you can get so much curl. Probably discussing the weight that they want to throw here. Couldn't really hear them, but it is going to be very weight dependent. Where you throw the rock, i.e. the line and the weight, need to match up. Looks pretty close. Scraped by the guard. Pushes the blue back. Couldn't get it all the way out. Jams off the red one. I think they over-curled a little bit. I think before Go was indicating you will rub off the red and it should go a little farther, but that would have required hitting the original stone a little bit more on the high side, a little bit less curl.
Yeah, I want to say that crossed the face if it didn't get to nose, which is a very surprising amount of curl, like you said, even with that weight. It's just overcurled, almost wrecked on the guard. Would have been a disaster. Just kind of protected the Martin Laycock stone right there in the back of the button. That's going to be really hard to get to now.
Yeah, those two red stones that are overlapped in the top of the 4, top of the 8 is acting like a really giant guard now for the Martin Laycock rock. It is a bit scary. Only one blue stone on the button. There is another blue stone in the back, but that's only a 6th shot. So red having 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Would you dare try to wrap another one into the button area, or maybe even freeze it to the back, the rock in the back of the 4, or back of the 8, I guess?
You could, if you're confident in that. The worst thing you would do is bounce off something and open it up and give them an access entry into that perfect rock. I think you just need this on the center line no matter what.
Yeah, the other easier shot would be just to throw a guard, which is, I think, what they're called, and that was made. Well, I think for the Japanese team, you want to move these red rocks a little bit and hopefully give yourselves 2 options to get into that into the blue stone. Yeah. Maybe open up like an in-off.
Yeah, you can create an in-off yourself if you try to bump that red back. Maybe you get some action, some spin on that front red. But your shooter, I think, is the key here. If you can get that to sort of roll into like T-line area, like touching 4, then Nancy Martin's going to have to deal with it, probably peel it or guard it. But I think that's the key, is not necessarily what happens to the 2 reds, but what happens to your shooter.
Just trying to move those 2 red stones that are poorly staggered for the Japanese team right now. We were saying they want to hit this on the high side and roll the shooter to the right-hand side as you see it from the thrower's angle. Open up a couple of possibilities, and they do that. They've now got a red slash and a in-off opportunities. I think Martin and Laycock, they've got to get another one into the button area probably.
Yeah. That blue stone is surrounded. It is in danger. It is not going to last very much longer. I think the intern side's a little bit easier. The clockwise side is easier to get rid of, and that might be what they deal with. The one on the outside's not great. But again, you got 2 ways to it, and this could be a big end if they can't guard the easier one here.
Yeah, that intern red onto blue looks very natural, and it won't jam on anything. It might jam on the back blue, but that won't matter. Or you can come maybe hit and roll on the other side, the intern side. That looks like what Nancy Martin's doing. Hit and roll into the top of the 4 or the top of the button. Try to sit 2. Oh, they just left it a bit too long, but will it sit down? It does sit for 3rd shot. Do you think that shot's there, the one that they're drawing up?
That is what I'm trying to figure out. And if they're probably going to figure it out quicker than me, that's why I'm sitting here. I think they've got a chance for multiples here. I think the question is, can they get that red rock to bounce at all and touch that rock that Nancy threw? There's a chance for 2 here.
Yeah, I think for sure a chance for 2.
There's a chance for 2. They definitely just need to score 1 at least. There's a chance for 2. But it's what you got to throw anyways. It's all you have.
Yeah, we'll see how much weight he throws at this. The more weight he's throwing at it, the more bounce he's going to get. May bring more than 2 into play. Well, that looked like a 6-second peel. Maybe 5 seconds, trying to get the bounce, as you were saying, but couldn't get it to move the blue stone, so it's 1 for red. They close the gap. Still trailing Aoki and Koana 4, Martin Laycock 5, halfway through the game.
On behalf of the volunteer board, the support team, and all the families who will be helped by this year's Sandra Schmirler Foundation Telethon, thank you for being a part of this historic moment. $1,126,014, a new record, exceeding our goal, and most importantly, countless families from St. John's to Victoria to Yellowknife and babies in over 100 hospitals in between will be impacted by your generosity. And we couldn't do it without the amazing partnerships we have with Curling Canada, TSN, and Net2Phone Canada. They connect you, our generous supporters, with so many of the Scotties participants and our volunteers on Telethon Day. A special thank you to Jocelyn and Brett for sharing little Luke Gallant's stories, and all of the families across this great country who shared stories of how Sandra's legacy has helped their little ones grow up and become champions. In each of the last 3 years, because of generous supporters like you, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has been able to give back $1 million to help babies in every province and territory. And this year's telethon will ensure we can continue that incredible momentum. Thank you for helping champions start small.
Thank you, Canada!
We're halfway through this match. Team Aoki and Koana, they're the 4th-ranked mixed doubles team in the world, playing against Martin and Laycock, number 11 in the world. Team Martin Laycock, they lead 5-4. They have Last Rock as well, playing the 5th end. We're in Martensville, the Aly Jenkins Memorial mixed doubles. Matt Sussman alongside. My name is Jason Chang. And if you're wondering who this tournament is named after, it's named after a Saskatchewan curler, Aly Jenkins, who unfortunately and very tragically passed away about 5 years ago or so due to complications from giving birth, I believe. So that Sandra Schmirler Foundation commercial, very fitting right before. But Aly, I never knew Aly, but I remember speaking to Nancy Martin actually shortly after that happened, and she was, grieving and in disbelief as well. I think she and Aly were quite close. They have curled together actually in the 4-person game.
They did, Jason. They were teammates in the 2019 season, and they were runners-up in the Saskatchewan final. They were on Sherry Anderson's team. Aly was throwing lead, Nancy was third, and they were 1 game away from making the Scotties. So when
I remember watching that game actually. I remember that Saskatchewan final.
Yes, very close. Lost to Silvernagel, I believe.
May have been in an extra too. My memory serves. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's just, there's, with all the tragedy that happens, and, which she passed away giving birth, as you said, to her 3rd child, who the child survived and celebrates a 5th birthday later this month, I believe. I believe it happened in October. So kind of a miracle baby, as they've said. They were able to save her life, and the family has been embraced by the curling community. I believe the widow, I want to say Scott Jenkins, not a competitive curler by means, but certainly in the curling community, and they've just embraced the family so well.
Yeah, I remember that incredible outpouring of support from not just curlers and people in Saskatchewan who may have known Aly, but from all over the country, curlers and others who didn't know Aly. This is the 5th end. Martin and Laycock with a 5-4 lead here with last stone. Now, this rock looks like it's a bit wide. Steve's going to remove his own stone. might be a bit of an opportunity now for Koana and Aoki to put some pressure on. They don't have last rock, but that miss gives them a free opportunity to put a rock in a really good spot.
You don't get a lot of chances in this game to come back from misses. It really just takes one. This is both a game that goes fast and a game where you need to be patient. It's kind of unusual to see both of those things, but the patience now has paid off, and they're in a chance here to potentially steal. They definitely need to steal, being down one without.
There's still 4 ends left, though, and they still have a power play that they can use. Each team with 1 power play in mixed doubles. Has to be used in regulation time. Can't carry it over into extra ends. Again, angles are going to be very important here. The 2 red stones that are in the rings right now, they're both wide open and can be pretty easily hit. And of course, wherever this goes, you want to prevent a double takeout on your red stones, because there are 2 blue stones in the ring still. So you don't want to lose too many of yours after this rock comes to rest, and then Steve Laycock gets to throw his next one. All right, just drew it to the top 4. Red still sitting shot stone, open, side of the button. Blue, second shot, back of the 4. That was the original rock that was placed there, the stationary stone that you get when you have last stone advantage.
So it's time to bail for Steve Laycock. Looks like broom down in the center line. It's time to open it up and see how you can get in there.
See a backswing again. I like how Steve does his backswing. It's not overly exaggerated. He doesn't lift the rock super behind his body, and I think that gives him a lot of control as he brings the rock back in front of his body and enters his sliding position.
I know people who do the lift delivery. They'll swear by it. They say it helps you on the line better. Since we don't teach it anymore, we'll just have to take them at their word.
Ran the guard in, hit the red shot stone. The runner stuck around in the 8 foot. What do you do here?
Yeah, it's a little precarious here. You're everything's just kind of messed up a little bit, and there's a lot to worry about. The end is getting a little bit slower. Want to make sure you're not giving them an easy chance here to take everything out.
Yeah, those 2 red stones that are kind of in the middle of the house, that can be doubled off right now really easily. Nose hit, both of those go. Coming to that back blue one, you think?
I think based on the weight, if that's not the call, that's what's happening.
Good shot.
Yeah, I think that's a good result. That kind of, if you're all of our Japanese curling in the chat, probably breathing a little bit better now. Looks a lot better. You're sitting 1-2, and hard to. I mean, you could throw another one down there. I suppose you can probably just barely get the pin and clog it up that way. I don't think that's what they want to do, but that might be what they have to. No, I think they're electing to do that double you said that's available.
Yeah, they're going to play this double. Probably hope to keep the shooter there. The double goes. The shooter, however, rolls away. Red still sitting shot stone.
Real opportunity here. If Aoki can freeze this one down, they each have one left. There are some bailout in-offs on the side here, but I think you need a freeze.
Yeah, I think that's the good news for Laycock and Martin. They do have those in-offs, as you mentioned. But if Aoki can get this frozen, they'll put some pressure on Martin and Laycock. They've both jumped out to sweep this. All right, now Tori has backed off, so it's probably not as bad as they initially thought, perhaps. And they've gone frozen right on top. Really good.
That is restaurant quality. I don't know if you can score. I mean, you can come off it, but how do you get both of them?
Yeah, the in-off off the red on the side of the 8, it's hard to... You'd have to hit it right between the two red stones, maybe, to get shot stone. That's really hard.
You can't nose it. You can't nose what was just thrown. You're still giving up 2. You almost have to do the in-off and concede one. Like you said, you could maybe ideally get it and score if you hit them both simultaneously. But good Lord, what a good shot.
And well swept. It looked like they were panicking at first, but ended up perfect.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. It's one of those, oh no, we pulled the string, but they seemed fine. They kept their composure. They switched roles. They let Aoki take the reins and Koana call the line from behind. Maybe to pretend like she threw the stone and made a good shot.
Well, they had a good look at this. Which way do you think they're going to try to attack this?
Oh, I mean, I think the left side, the clockwise side, is more natural to get some action off the red into the red pocket. They're just if you give up one, it's a victory.
I think so. I think you'd be pretty happy giving up one in this situation.
Yeah, you go into the 6th end, you got 2 hammers. That's a good result.
Well, they have taken the clockwise turn. Now, are they just making a direct play at it, just try to hit it half a rock and get 1 to go? But this is over curling a little bit. Will it go far enough? That red stone.
Yes.
Yes, it does. All right, 1 for red, but that ties up the game at 5 through 5 ends of play.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Tight game we have here, 5-5 after 5. Laycock and Martin, they keep the hammer in the 6th, and they've set up the power play, Matt. So what happens here during a power play?
Well, each team gets an opportunity to move the rocks over to the side. They get to pick the side. The logic is that they will prevent a steal because there's nothing in the middle. The play will go to the wings. It's a different look for both teams, and the goal here, just avoid the steal, get your 1. You assume that Japanese team will use theirs in the 7th end, and then you come back to the 8th, and you just need to score that 1 point.
Yeah, really difficult to switch to the power play, especially if you don't have last rock, because you've got the corner guard, the hammer team's got the corner guard, got the one already tucked behind, and now you have to throw in a completely different path that you haven't played all game, inside out, try to get the right speed. Go and Tori, they swept that one hard, just got it to bite the top 8, but I believe blue is still shot stone, and that's why I think they're considering just splitting the rings here. I don't know if that's what they've just concluded on. They're probably talking about speed.
Yeah, I don't know what else you do here. You split the rings. You try to hold on to that for 2.
Yeah, even though that redstone came up a little bit short, the angle was actually really good for the Japanese team. So that's why Laycock and Martin, they're not even thinking about playing over there behind the corner. That red is just blocking that path way too well right now. Really hard to move it back. Remember, they can't remove that redstone right now, and there's really no easy way to remove it anyway, but
a lot more deliberation happening. This may be there may be talking strategy rather than the ice conditions.
Yeah, maybe they want to go behind and move that redstone. Can't move it out of play completely. You can tap it back. If you can get just across the nose, you probably can tap it back a little bit. The question is how much on the inside of the rock could you actually hit?
Well, Steve changed sweeping positions, and so that's our visual cue. The shot has changed.
Steve telling Martin to aim for the edge of the button. You could also, I suppose, draw around the redstone. More like a corner freeze. Maybe that was what they called. But it bounced off. However, the Japanese team still cannot hit this stone.
That's correct. You got to wait. There's the way I like to remember it is the last person to throw their first stone is the one that gets to throw takeouts. So with this being Go Aoki's, or no, it's Tori Koana's first throw. Steve Laycock has yet to throw, so he can take anything out. There's a lot of ways you can remember it, and they're all right.
Basically, the hammer team's second thrown stone of the end is the first time you can completely remove a stone out of play.
If you want to be technical about it, but you are technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
Well, I was calling a game in the Vernon event last weekend, and a team accidentally tapped a rock out, but no one noticed. And it wasn't the second stone of the hammer team, so they couldn't actually remove it, but no one realized that that was a illegal tap out. The reason that no one noticed was because they weren't actually calling a tap out of that particular rock. I think they bumped another rock into that rock that was kind of in the back of the 12. That 12 rock disappeared, but since no one was thinking about that one being hit, they just completely forgot about it.
Elite curlers, they're just like us.
Can be a little bit ordinary sometimes.
Yeah, they're very relatable.
Unfortunately, Tori draw went through the rings, so now this is a really good opportunity for Laycock and Martin to set up the big end. They're sitting 2 already, so I think they're just trying to keep these 3 rocks separated, which they do very nicely.
Yeah, good result. No double anywhere. Everything's separated.
And this is what's so powerful about that power play, moving everything to the corner. You got one missed shot by the Japanese team, and they're now in all sorts of trouble in terms of possibly giving up 3 points. Without really Martin and Laycock doing anything particularly special.
Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot here. I saw them motion to hit the blue-red combo and roll, which means, the red rock in the house is just not helping them right now. It's just kind of in the way. It's a dead rock at this point. They might as well try to figure out some way to group the stones so that they can just take 2 of them out. They don't want to give up a 3. They really don't want to give up a 2, but they can live with that. They just need to clean up the mess they made so far.
So what have they decided?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that. I think I think they could try to make a play on that blue that's frozen. Maybe they can remove it and then just kind of unlock everything. Then they've got a stone in a better position. Maybe roll that rock to the center a little bit, maybe be second shot. They've each got 3 stones left, so there's a fair bit of time in this end for this to look better. We will see.
All right, so definitely making a play on those rocks on the right-hand side, as you can see it from the overhead. Aoki trying to get this rock to curl. I think you do want to move that red stone out of the way. They do. They keep the shooter around. That's a nice roll. That helps group. Oh, a little bit of nice spin back towards the middle.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's about the best you could do with that. It looks a lot better for them. There's still a chance here, though. If they can hit that and roll somewhere, and maybe a roll under cover. You do a big roll behind the positioned rock on the side, and you're back in the same boat, trying to find a way to group them again.
Yeah, so rolling behind, basically that rock that's behind the corner guard, that original stationary stone, again, hasn't really been moved since the start of the end. You can't really roll to the outside. You can't roll it to the left from the overhead angle, because then you'll just jam the red stone onto the blue.
Yeah, I think the prime directive here is get rid of that red one. Even if you roll out, it's not the end of the world. You're still sitting 2, and they're separated.
Well, they're getting the big roll. Can they keep it in the rings? Pretty good if it sits down in the 12-foot. Go Aoki trying to go as far as he can, but man, what a good roll.
Very impressive. I can't believe I saw that coming too. It's really hard to, from a commentator's perspective, to say in a mixed doubles game, here's what I think they're going to do, and then they do it, and then they make it. Much more credit should go to Steve Laycock for making that shot than for me seeing it, but by a vast amount. But all the same, now they're sitting 3. They're all separated. There's no double. Now Tori needs to hit and roll and kind of match that great shot.
Yeah, well, you are the professor, so you called it. Steve made it. 4 out of 4 on that shot for sure. Yes, now forced to play a corner freeze on this side stone to try to eliminate those 2 blue stones that's behind the corner. Not eliminate it in the sense of getting them rid of them, but if you corner freezed it, they wouldn't come back to bite you, but that rubs off. It's wide open, I think. You can see all the rock probably.
Yeah, they're really in it now. They've got 1 left to throw. That was 6 inches deep. That was very unfortunate. And I think they can see this entire stone. They can bump it off and get to it. Even if you jam, you're still sitting 3. A world of trouble for Koana and Aoki.
Yeah, that's just the difference between a perfect rock and a rock that was just maybe a foot too heavy, rolled off when it froze. And now, big opportunity for Steve Laycock. They're by the guard. They will jam it on the back one. Sitting 3, though. There is a double here.
Yeah, you want to be careful, though. There is a double. But which one do you go for? There's a couple options here.
Now, the question is there a triple? Probably the angle's too obtuse.
Very good. Full marks, Jason.
All right. I was paying attention to the class in the first or second end when we were talking about the...
See, they always come back. We never... This is all planned. We always are prepared. Everything always comes back. Everything comes full circle here. Yeah, chance for a double here. I think the one where the 2 rocks are closer together has better opportunity. If you can hit it and roll there, you certainly don't want to just get 1 here, and then you're still giving up a 3. Here we go.
Yeah, big weight. Playing the in turn. Inside the guard looks perfect.
Oh,
both rocks go. Nice shot.
Nice shot. I think they had the idea of a triple in mind. It just wasn't there. Might have maybe a little thinner could have done it.
Yeah, a little bit thinner. Might have been able to shave by that blue stone or make contact with that blue stone on the back of the 4. But the angle looked a little bit just too steep there.
Yeah, getting the 2 though, I think was the main goal there, and they did it. And Nancy has a option to either hit and stick or draw to the 4 to get their 2.
Now she has had some trouble with her draw weight, but I think that is the call that they're going to make here. Steve working hard here. The weight's starting to come off as it's curling, and I'm not sure she's going to get it there.
It's close.
Yeah,
Head it
Steve
all the
went
way.
all the way.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. 2 points. Martin and Laycock, they restore a 2-point lead after 6.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Seventh end about to commence. You telegraphed this, Martin and Laycock. They had last stone in the last end, used the power play. They scored a couple, and the natural reply would be a power play back. But this time a different play, trying to raise the corner guard into the rings. Pretty good.
Maybe you can't remove that stone, but you can certainly move it. Ideally, you want your thrown rock to then roll out of play to have as little in the house, or really in play, and force that blank or force that one. Just a little overcurled a little bit, just didn't have the line, but freed up that red stone to be accessible to take it out.
Yeah, that back stone is now mostly exposed, if not fully exposed. Yeah, as you said, they just wanted to hit it a little bit thinner, that guard, and then would have rolled the shooter right out, and then that guard would have been pushed into the top 4 area, which would have been perfect, but not a bad attempt. That's a hard shot.
Yes, that is the quintessential elite mixed doubles curler power play opening shot.
Now, am I elite if I try to play that shot still like the elites but miss it?
You are. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise.
I thought you were going to tell me otherwise.
I might try to, but you can just prove me wrong.
Yeah, go Aoki, and trying to freeze to this rock now. Well done. There is a bit of a stagger, so you can blast it out, but not with this rock. Again, this stone still one too early to take stones out, so freeze on top.
Yeah, you could. If you're again, if your goal is to force them, you could even try to pick their pocket and get a steal here. You can get there and freeze onto it, control the button, see what they do. Real good chance here to turn the tables.
Yeah, you may want to unlock that red stone from the back blue stone that it's corner frozen on right now. Just maybe push it back a foot. With the lead, Martin and Laycock, rock elimination is going to be important because they can come home with last stone as long as they don't give up too many rocks here. So they limit the damage to a couple points. You'll be tied with Hammer coming home. I think that's the thinking for Martin and Laycock. But the angle not great here for Team Laycock and Martin.
They made a little sandwich there. If they nose that blue, they can leave the filling of the sandwich there and the buns disappear.
I think it's more of a burger, but okay, we'll go with sandwich.
A burger is a sandwich.
Oh, okay. Just a fancy sandwich?
Yes. I know that's a big point of controversy in the food world. It's all delicious to me. That's the point.
Well, speaking of hamburgers, we've got a Japanese team on the ice, and when I was in Japan for work quite a long time ago now, for a couple months, I really enjoyed the Moss burger. So, craving one right now. We used to go to that location, I think that's in Ginza in Tokyo.
We are a full-service stop here. Curling and food recommendations internationally.
Make me hungry. Right, do you think they're just playing a freeze?
Yeah, it's certainly not that way. There's not going to really remove anything. They could be freezing onto it. Maybe they want to unlock that stone a little bit. They certainly didn't like the idea of blasting at this point, because maybe that played into Laycock Martin's hands.
Yeah, if they blasted it, they could sit 3, but you're definitely leaving a double. This one over curls on them. Ooh, that ended up in a terrible spot, actually. You can have a pocket there for Steve to draw a rock in.
Yeah, it's a totally different end now. I don't think they're trying to get rid of as many rocks as possible. I think this could be a very unique power play where they're suddenly loading the house.
Well, Professor, you have someone agreeing with you that a burger is a sandwich.
The hot dog being a sandwich is much more controversial, but the burger just looks like a sandwich, and it's 2 pieces of bread. It's filling. It's the exact same thing in my opinion. You're splitting hairs at that point if you're saying it's not.
What about a bunless burger?
A bunless burger. So just like a patty.
That's what people get.
I don't think that's a sandwich. I think
Okay.
that's a breadless sandwich. Might still be delicious. Watching your carbs, that's fine.
Well, I could really go for like a breadless Kobe beef burger, which would just be the Kobe beef.
Well, in Canada, they've got the steak sandwich, which isn't really a sandwich.
All right, well, I think they're going to try to make an open face sandwich here by placing this blue stone
Oh, yes.
on the face of this red stone. So you got 2 blue patties or 2 blue pieces of meat sitting in front of the 2 red buns.
What a delicious outcome there.
Yeah, they froze it onto the redstone. I thought they were going to freeze it a little bit more in that pocket, but that's a good outcome there as well.
Yeah, now they've got some work to do to unlock either of those 2 blues. It's going to take a couple rocks to get something to move. I don't think you can use any weight. If you throw that at 100 million miles an hour, you're getting rid of like 1 rock. So they're going to have to find some angle that benefits them.
Yeah, I like hitting this on, well, the side that Tori is pointing at. I think that would keep the shooter around somewhere in the 4 foot or the 8 foot. A rock that you could come in off of later, or at least a rock that Martin and Laycock might have to deal with. Hopefully get some separation on this open face sandwich situation. Maybe remove the 2 buns. Well, one of the buns, one of the redstones will jam for sure. But at least get them a little bit out of the way. Push the rocks back a little bit.
You don't like trying to add some garnish to it?
Ah. Well, what do you like on your burgers? Do you put ketchup and mustard? Is that the thing in your neck of the woods, or your personal preference?
Yeah, mustard, pickles. The Jimmy Buffett song, basically. If you just listen to Cheeseburger in Paradise, you've got what I like on mine.
Koana's rock coming down the ice now, throwing some good weight here. Yeah, you got some spillage. Well, still a bit of an open space sandwich on that left side now as both rocks move to the left, but has opened it up a bit, and I think that helps the Japanese team.
Yeah, little unlucky where all of those rocks landed because you just kind of moved a rock unfrozen, back frozen to another rock. But you certainly, the main goal here, you cleared off the button, and so now you have access to score. You still need to score 2, but I think that's a pretty good result, all things considered.
Well, they're looking at hitting this red stone. That was the original stationary stone, and rolling into the 2 stones out of the back of the 4. I guess if you rolled right into your own blue stone, you'd be kind of frozen onto that red stone that's in the back of the 4.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a terrible result. You're leaving a pocket, they can use it, but I think you're just trying to clear the clutter here and prevent any potential big score here. If they can hold them to 1, then they're going into the 8th, and they need to steal to win. So that's not a bad option here.
Yeah, again, throwing a little bit of heat. Looks close. Oh, it actually makes the double and backs this blue up, and what a good result.
That's really nice. That moved a lot upwards. So, again, the end done changed.
Yeah, blue sitting shot 2nd and 3rd. That red stone that's in the 8 o'clock position, pretty much not in play anymore because of that blue stone that's frozen on top. That red one's never coming back to count for you. If you want to score 2 points, you're going to have to make your last 2 count, and that's why they're looking at playing a draw. The problem with the draw, of course, is you can't get frozen to the face of the backstone, so you always leave this short run.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if there's an out-turn draw to go around that. That way the run kind of isn't clean if you go around everything. I don't think you can get shot out of it, though.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough to get shot. I mean, the only way to get shot on that out-turn side is to actually chip off the red stone. Almost play like a hidden roll off off the blue stone that's frozen to the red, and roll it onto the face of the blue stone. That just may leave a pretty easy in-off back. I'm not sure.
They were looking at that side a little more closely, which makes me wonder if they're going to play out there. Maybe they're going to just bump off that red, kill their own red and roll in, like you said. But that looks to be the side they're looking at.
Yeah, I think I like this side better. I think it'll be pretty tough to generate 2 points if you go to the other side, the intern side, and just freeze. That run back is very short, so I like this call. Well, there's the contact. Roll it onto the face of the blue. Pretty good. Did they get shot? Maybe.
And they are absolutely shot, aren't they?
And now that red's not going out.
Yeah. What a wonderful result. What a great shot. What a great the guts to throw that shot. They needed it. And yeah, two's back in play here.
Yeah, and Professor, I'd like to get extra credit for that. I think I called that one.
Oh, I think you did. Yeah, you absolutely will. I'll give you a little extra little smiley face sticker.
Yep. I like stars personally.
Stars, yeah. Little happy cloud.
Happy cloud. Love it. So I think Nancy is going to respond by tapping that blue stone up and hopefully out counting the red stone. There's no run back to remove that red stone that was just played. That was just so fantastically controlled and rolled into the absolute perfect spot. I think it needs a little bit more curl here. They're making the tap, but a little bit over curled. I think you can probably hit the red or the blue stone as nose as possible and get the 2, but now they're looking at something else for maybe 3.
Well, for 3, you're throwing a quad, aren't you?
It is a quad to get the 3.
I don't think, Jason, I've ever seen a quad thrown in a mixed doubles game, but boy, I'd like to see it. Because the shot for 2 is very makeable. You can hit a good chunk of that blue. You could jam on the red a little bit, but the red's not leaving, and you score your 2. Wish we had a telestrator here, but you're saying if you hit that top blue, maybe a little bit at 11 o'clock, you can scatter them all?
Yeah, blue, thin onto the other blue. That's shot rock right now, which will shoot the one that you're running in southward into the red. And then a little bit of an around the horn type action.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
I think, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, but I think that side blue, just touching back T-line, I think that goes into the red.
I believe so. I think the red stone that is second shot right now is a little bit too high. If it was maybe below that other blue stone on the side of the 8, then maybe.
We have to be impartial here in the booth, but we're always here for seeing a quad.
Are they going for it?
Hard to tell. They have to be.
Looks like it. Big weight out there, and let's see what happens. Blue, things go out, but only a single. Close, but I'm not sure was there. 1 red for the Japanese team. It's 7-6. Martin and Laycock, they're 1 up, and they'll have Hammer coming home.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Final end underway. Martin and Laycock, they have a 1-point lead, and last stone advantage. They're playing the blue stones. Red stones, that's Tori, Koana, Go Aoki, the Japanese team, the number 4 ranked team in the world, trailing by 1 right now. So they're going to have to bring out their best game here to try to steal. Maybe send this game to an extra end.
Well, it's possible, and they're going to have to do it. There has been a steal in this game. It's
Koana and Aoki did steal the 5th end. Nancy Martin, are they trying to move the guard? The tick shot?
Remember the tick shot, Jason? It's been banned in all other versions, but not here. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the tick shot played in the competitive scene. I think a lot of club play have not introduced the no tick rule. Certainly at my club, they haven't introduced that rule for club play.
Yeah, a lot of clubs down here, when it came out, they added to the rules. We all talked about it and said, I don't think we want to use it. We're just not that good. We'll make them accidentally. So it's certainly a separated rule for the elite curlers, or when we pretend to be elite curlers.
Oh, Professor, how I like to pretend.
Oh, don't we all? I like to pretend being a professor with you.
You do a pretty good job of that. All right, do you think they'll just put this guard back up? I think if you put it a little bit higher, you have 2 kind of corner guards you can jam onto now. So if you try to peel.
Yeah, the tick shot wasn't a great tick shot because it really blocked off some draw paths. But yeah, draw really wouldn't hurt here. You want this higher. You don't want this too deep.
Yeah, you could leave Steve a double on the 2 blue or 2 red stones, excuse me, that are in the house.
Yeah, not a great guard, but got some work to do to open up the middle. Nancy looking to see if she can nose that red. Can it clear the blue? I think it goes into it, but I don't think she'll mind that.
Yeah, if you can hit it on the high side, you can definitely make the double kind of over the top. As in the one that you're running in will go over the top, and that red stone that is in the 4 will shoot straight back. So they're hitting it high. They clip the red, makes the double. Nice shot. Steve Laycock, once again, bringing the heat and making it.
Lifting and separating.
Oh, I like that.
I'd like to say I came up with it, but I'm just not that original.
So the professor is plagiarizing.
Oh, no. I did not use appropriate citations.
Yeah, I think you probably have to throw up another guard here, and this time I would advise this team to go a little bit higher.
Yeah,
give it a chance to jam.
Yep, you need these all as far apart as possible. You need to shorten this end, make them peel singles, and then get a good freeze there. Make Nancy have to throw a draw perhaps on her last.
Yeah, if you play the freeze, you can't blast, because if you blast and lose everything, that's a blank end, and you'll lose hammer. Oh, actually, a blank end actually would be okay for Martin Laycock because they've got a 1-point lead.
Yeah, blank end's fine.
Yeah.
I guess they're doing it now.
Well, I think the reason you play the freeze now is you were hoping for the blast, then making use kind of that off-center guard, the one on that, the right side, that red guard that's on the right side on the overhead. If you can get rid of that bluestone, then you can make use of that off-center, slightly corner guard.
Yes.
I think just a straight peel here. Leave your bluestone at the back of the 4. Yeah, straight peel. Nicely done.
Yeah. So again, I think the freeze opportunity is still there, and it's what you have to do. You just needed a few more inches to get that thing difficult to pick clean. With 2 rocks left, you're really running out of time.
Yeah, don't we all? 2 rocks left. Important shot here. Get this just a couple inches further. Make the other team blast, or at least play a very precise shot. Make a perfect freeze. They don't blast it out. You might sit 2 at the end of it. Aoki trying to get this rock to curl. Maybe a hair light as well. Ended up in a very similar spot as the previous stone.
Yeah, really, really close to the same thing. So repeat the shot, peel it out, and you're gonna probably leave, the same shot again, and Nancy's gonna, trade shots.
And Nancy's wondering whether Steve liked hitting it on the nose, maybe making the blue-red double. In theory, that would be good, but if you ever left the red stone in play, it wouldn't be great, but that's what they do. They called it on the fly, basically. I think Steve didn't care whether the blue one disappeared. He wanted to make sure the red one left the house.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's maybe edge on edge with the red guard, but Aoki probably just going to need to hit it and get as much of a roll as you can. But like you said, we could be seeing a peel and a blank for the win.
Yeah, got to get it tucked under.
Plenty of space to do that, though, with this curl.
Yep. This is the last stone for this Japanese duo, Koana Aoki. They're down by 1. Looking to make a hit and roll it behind the corner. They make the hit, but it is wide open, so this will be an open hit for Nancy Martin to go 3-0.
Yeah, all she's got to do is make contact with that red, and doesn't matter what happens after that. She can get that one out. It should be a pretty simple shot here. So just go through your basics, go through your routine, and just execute.
Final stone, Martin and Laycock. They just need an open hit here for the win. They don't even need to keep the shooter around. Cleaning it. It's a good sign. Looks pretty good. Go Aoki, raises his hand. They shake on it. Shooter rolls out. It is a blank, but it's 7-6. Martin Laycock over Tori, Koana, and Go Aoki. Matt, what did you think about this game? Two big, highly ranked teams going at it, and this time, Martin Laycock, the number 11 seed in the world, taking it.
This could certainly be a rematch in the final based on how well these two teams did. They made the draws when they needed to, made the big hits when they needed to. They're both very impressive, with Martin Laycock just coming out just that bit more, and we're in control in that eighth end. So very impressed with both teams nonetheless.
Yeah, I think you might very well see both teams making it into the playoff round as the week goes on. Well, our action ends today. There is 4 draws, I believe, tomorrow. 9 a.m. Mountain, noon, 3, 6, and then possibly tiebreakers if necessary later. So at least 4 draws of action later tonight, later tomorrow on Saturday, and then there will be Sunday. That's the quarter semis and the finals. Well, Professor, great to be working with you once again.
Absolutely. Class is dismissed, right?
Class dismissed. See you tomorrow.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.